Okay, it's a great Sunday. Jayme is here. This is episode 10 of Muddafork. We will soon be joined by Bodine, who is, as is a woman's prerogative, running Casually Late. But let's get started with the, I guess, latest breakout artist in the Bahamas.
What's up? Happy Sunday.
Great day. The drinks are cold, the sun is out, mild rain, slight to moderate wind. What more do you need?
It's a good beach day. It's a pity we couldn't go to the beach after 12.
I feel like if a couple hundred people just descended on the beach, not a couple hundred, a couple dozen, descended on the beach at one time, the police probably wouldn't be able to do anything about that.
What could they do at that point?
I don't know. I don't really want to know. I don't know if I want to know the answer because that's not a plan for me. Not in my plans, I should say. So, singer-songwriter, how's your career been? How's your career been going since you dropped your first single?
You want the real deal? It's been the best word I could say is interesting, because like you said, I'm probably one of the newest artists to come out in the Bahamas, and although I've been in the music industry for about 7 years, in January, I decided, hey, I'm going to take this music thing seriously. I'm going to reintroduce myself as Jayme C, and then Corona. So it's been difficult because I was like, this is going to be my year. I'm going to have music videos. I'm going to put out an EP. I'm going to do this and that. And I have not been able to do it. But I still was able to put out my first single. I still did the music video for that. But sometimes it could be discouraging, but trust the process.
Yeah, I think those are words to live by for 2020. Just trust the process, because you never really know. Nobody predicted or could have predicted in March this is where we would be now.
I know, right?
You've been in the music industry for 7 years. What were you doing before you became a recording artist?
Well, I was just doing features, and my stage name at the time was Jayme, but it was J''ME. So those who would have been walking with me from back then and remember me from that name. And I did features with like Twin Nam, Foots, Miguel Davis, Travi Bo was the first person I recorded a song with. I worked with producers like Shadi Einstein, Tevin Tupper Wilkinson, Sniper, with the HD Boys essentially. Mm-hmm. So I was really behind the scenes. I was working with the twins, did some songwriting, but nothing on the front lines.
And when did that change for you? What made you want to go from the bench to the starting lineup?
So crazy enough, the company I worked for, we held this fundraiser after Hurricane Dorian. I was a part of the writing team for the song I Believe in You that was sang by Machelle Montano, Allison Hines, Julian Believe, Judah Lyon, Cecile, all these people. And they had this relief concert that they had planned to have here. So in my role at my job, I had to essentially plan it. And the night of the event, I was there until about 6-7 o'clock. It was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. And I went home and I was like, I really do not want to leave my bed. I had already showered. I was watching the show, but I was like, you know what? It's my event. Let me go back out. I went there and my friend Julian introduced me to Mr. Killer, who says, pick up something, anything. And he was like, well, this is Jayme. She's a songwriter, XYZ. And he also introduced me to his manager. We exchanged numbers. The next day, we all went out to the Sanctuary, the recording studio in Albany. And we were talking back and forth. And Killer and I were talking for about a week on WhatsApp. And he knew I was a songwriter, but he didn't know I sang. So I sent him one of my pieces, and he was like, but you could sing. And I was like, yeah, but you're not going to go to an artist like that and be like, yeah, go listen to my music. So I was pretty low key with it. And so within a few days, he flew me out to Atlanta to work on some music with him. And I was writing music with him. I did some background vocals, and spending that 3 days with him in the studio and going all over Atlanta. And I was just like, this is the life that I want. This is the life I deserve. It's just no way in hell I could be clocking in every day when I could just be writing music and making money for the rest of my life. And so that trip really flipped a switch. And then having someone who is that caliber of an artist and a songwriter believe in you so much, and like just kind of like see your talent, just be like, what are you doing in the Bahamas? Like, why are you not an artist? That really pushed me. So like that gave me the nudge I needed to really take on music seriously.
Okay, that's an interesting backstory. I mean, I didn't realize that I guess I wouldn't have known this beforehand, but it seems like you had an international debut before you had a local debut. I mean,
Kind of, sort of, really. Yeah, you could say that.
so I mean, the reception to your first single has been, I mean, great might be the understatement of the century. I certainly listened to the song at a lot of, odd times, exercising for one. Others that I would choose not to mention on a live recording. But what's the next step for you now? I mean, COVID notwithstanding.
Okay, well, I'm actually trying to work on a music video for Right There. And as you can imagine, I'm a perfectionist. And so it's taken me so long because I'm like, this is a really great song. The music video has to match the vibe. It has to have the same look, the same feel. And so next up is the music video for Right There. And they also have this song that people really love. People actually love it more than in Right There. And it's actually my favorite of the two. I recorded both of them in New Jersey. And that's Back Burner Love. And I intend to release that next month. I'm also dropping a website where you can buy some merch. I haven't announced that yet. You can buy merch, follow the journey, check out all my tour dates and all those things. So I have a lot of things coming, and I'm also working on an EP. I have not told anyone this is yet, and it's actually called To All the Men That I've Loved. And there's a song on it for every guy that I have seriously dated or loved. So yeah.
Now, I got to ask you some questions about this.
Go ahead.
This ride about to get a little rough. So do you call any of their names in the songs?
No, babe, it's not so. No.
Are they gonna know it's about them when they listen?
They'll know it's about them. Each song tells a story, and it's not. Initially, I was like, I should probably have the name of the song, the first letter of all their names, but I was like, nah, people would definitely know who they are. So, the titles of the songs will all be nicknames, so they'll know who it is, and I guess my friends will know, but for the general public, they'll have to figure it out.
Only the men you've loved. You never had like a little thing you might have just write about on some like Tanya Stevens boom walk type of thing?
Of course I've had little things, but I've never written like anything for like any of my little things, It has to be like the love. It has to be love.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful. How many tracks do you get?
So, I haven't finalized it, but so far I have 4 songs.
4 men that are gonna watch this and they're gonna be wondering,
4. I may just because you recommended it, I may add, 1 or 2 tracks for some little things, make them feel special.
You know what I mean? You gotta talk, but old boy with the tinted Honda Fit who only used to come around when it was time for dominoes and to do the work. give the man his flowers too.
Of course, man.
You decide what genre of music you wanted to get into? Well, first of all, how do you classify what genre do you align with? Is it soca, pop, or you don't really?
It's a really good question because I asked a question on my Instagram story to ask people what they prefer me to do, because I started off in that neo soul R&B kind of feel, but Right There is obviously like a soca pop song. But really and truly, in this whole decision-making process, I've just decided that I don't want to label myself as like a soca artist or an R&B artist. I just want to be an artist because, like my producer said, like there's so much things that I can do with my voice. And that's something that I can really appreciate about my talent. So I can do the soca, I can do the dance hall, I could do whatever. But I really want to keep that door open for me to be able to use and work on my options.
Can you freestyle? Like, can you rap?
No, my dad can though.
Really?
Yeah, like really well, like ridiculously well.
That would make in daddy daughter rap battles. You need to get your hip hop game back. Hip hop.
I've tried, like I've really tried. And because I always said, you're a really good writer. Maybe you can like rap. I can write rap music, but I can't like freestyle. And like I tried and I found myself like in the kitchen, like washing dishes or like in the bathroom. And like I'll say like one or two lines, I'll be like, nah.
Where do you draw the inspiration from outside of former lovers for your music?
Most of my inspiration comes from them, and most of them are not the best people, but they have contributed so much to my talent and my work. But it's crazy because I've written so much things that I've never released. I've written like, even if it's just like poetry, I've written a lot of things that I haven't released, and it's just because most of my work is personal. Like even Back Burner Love is a very personal song to me. Like everything I sing about, like, it's how I felt, like it's a real situation. And I would even say that because all the things that I write is so personal to me, I've been hesitant to share it with the world because I'm like, if I talk about XYZ, people are gonna know exactly, who I'm talking about or like what I'm talking about. And I'm like, am I ready to be that vulnerable with the world? But as an artist, you just have to like take that leap. Because the best music that you write is music that you can relate to, because there's always someone out there who feels the same way.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like adding the human or deepening the human element in music, because you kind of connect to that. Whatever your taste may be. Some people listen to like Whitney Houston, "I Have Nothing," and just go nuts, because they feel that kind of sentiment. Some people listen to some Lil Kim and be like, well, you know what, Savage Life. So I get the human connection is important.
Yeah, it is.
And I remember you saying at some point you did some jingle writing or some type of something along that lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. What jingle are you most proud of? Like, what's the most popular one that you've done?
Of course, the Alive jingle. I'm not sure if you heard it.
Live jingle.
Yeah, that is the best thing the best jingle that I've ever written. And it's so crazy because I wrote that in January 2018, and I had been at the company probably like less than 4 months. And I always literally always sang in office. Like when we were in the office, I would sing every day. And so my coworkers were like, oh, you could sing. And then, when your coworkers find your Instagram and they'd be like, oh, Jayme's actually a singer in real life and all that. And so somebody asked me, they was like, yeah, can you write a jingle? And I was like, when? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay. And I went on YouTube. It took me the longest to find a beat that I thought was a true embodiment of the Live brand. I found it on YouTube, released the beat, and then I went by the Twins. I wrote the song. It took me about 2 hours. I wrote it in office at my desk. And then I went by the Twins that afternoon or the next afternoon, recorded it. And they were like, wow, are you sure you wrote this? And I'm like, I was sitting right there. But yeah, that's the jingle that I'm most proud of.
Okay, all right. It's a fun one. I don't turn the radio off when I hear it. Come on.
But actually, like at this point, I'm actually sick of it because you hear it all the time. It's like the end tag of all of our commercials. It was the ad-hole thing for like over a year. And you're like, oh my God, this song is so nice. And I'm like, thanks. But I'm actually sick of it.
Take you a while to sort of get used to hearing your own voice so frequently, or was it not at all ever strange for you? Like I'm not a singer, but I could hold a note, and I still hate the sound of my own voice when I'm singing.
I hate the sound of my voice sometimes when I'm talking, but I really like my singing voice. So like I've never had to deal with like the cringe, like when I hear my songs, but I do a lot of radio recordings and like voiceovers. And I also have my own podcast too. So sometimes when I hear myself, I'm like, but not when I sing.
Fair enough. What's your podcast called?
The Wind Down.
Really? Oh,
we have been on a break for a very long time.
I feel like I saw that come up on my IG Explore page at some point. Meant to have a look at. Didn't know that was you. All right, cool. Well, I'll definitely go check that out then.
We're coming back next month, so.
Oh, nice. So there's how to broach this topic. This is
Dive right in.
I intend to. I'm just trying to think of how to make the question or the sentiment as sort of bold as possible to get the point across. So, women in music and the Bahamas and the patriarchy. This is the path I'm about to walk. So, does it ever feel weird, or rather, how does it feel when you're performing? Like, do you find that men kind of make weird comments when you're in your professional space after they see you in a little something kind of sexy, that kind of vibe? Like, what's that dynamic like?
Well, I think for those who know me, I'm always in something a little bit sexy, or I'm always doing something a little bit sexy. And to answer your question, what's it like? It's overbearing.
In what ways?
You kind of have to like train yourself to ignore people when you find that addressing it makes no sense. So let's just say, for an example, I'm performing somewhere and I'm wearing a little dress or I'm wearing a little short pants. There's always going to be a man who has something to say. There's always going to be a man who has a provocative question or a sexual question or something to say about the way you're dressed or the way you look. So I mean, and I think even when I'm not on stage, you know, and what's crazy enough, sometimes you have those comments from women as well, but more in a judgmental space. So it is a lot to deal with, and I think to be in the industry, and I'll even broaden it to just be a woman. You have to have thick skin, and you have to be confident in yourself, and not so much give attention to the noise in the market.
I suppose. I mean, I have no appreciation for what that must be like. You know, women very rarely make those kinds of comments towards men, and also I'm pretty much in short pants and a suit most of the time. So, do you ever get like strange DMs to that effect, or have you ever had any sort of real like strangers say some off the wall shit? And like, what? Give me some examples. I'm always curious as to what people.
I mean, yes. Actually, I went to Trinidad Carnival in February, and I was in the airport coming back, and I actually, because I went with a group of my friends, my fat family, and I actually showed them in the airport, like, this guy literally sent me like this long thing, like very long, like literally like this long in my DM, like I had to scroll, and then he sent me like a video of him masturbating. So that is the craziest thing I've ever had to deal with. But I've definitely had like men in my DM like say some like really off the wall stuff like all the time. Like, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. Like right now I have like 22 message requests. And whenever I need a good laugh, I'll probably go in there and just be like, oh my God, look at these fucking creeps. But yeah, like, I mean, there are a lot of men who just don't give a shit. They will slide in your DMs and say whatever, show you whatever, tell you whatever, ask you whatever, like as if you're never gonna read it. You know what I mean? As if like, do you think I'm not a human?
You respond to them all and just kind of be like, "Fuck off!" Like, I'm not interested.
No, no. I literally don't answer, and then they're in my request, so I just like delete all. I don't even open it. I don't even respond.
Yeah, just not. Probably best just not to take it on.
Yeah, because if I told every nigga to fuck off that was in my DM, I would be telling at least half of my followers to fuck off. So yeah.
To go nuts after this, then be like, well, does that half include me? God, look at what you did. Let's explore your song lyrics for right there, because I have some theories about that song and the mood that it creates.
Okay.
I want to hear it. I want to sort of hear it from the horse's mouth. So what was the inspiration for that? Take me through that.
The inspiration for right there, and I say this all the time.
Man, you wind up on a carnival, it costs you right this up.
But the thing about it is, and I was telling people, like, this song isn't about an incident. Like, this isn't about something that actually happened. But this is about, like, how I feel. Like, I have been in predicaments where, and I'm really a wine and go kind of girl, but there are, like, one or two guys, and you're like, Another one. But I wanted to write this song because like there are a lot of songs that with men talking about, you know, oh, the bumper was this and the wine was sweet and then this was that. But I wanted to just talk from a woman's perspective. Like we are, like I'm bold. I will hop on your DMs if I feel like. That's the kind of woman I am. And I wanted this song to be like very bold, very sexy, very sassy to match my personality. So like everything I say in right there, I promise you, Jayme C would say it, would do it. I probably have. So this song was just meant to talk about the fact that there are women who are not afraid to ask. There are a lot of women who aren't afraid to tell and to demand. So that's right there.
Look who has arrived.
Bodine's here.
Bodine is here.
Hi, Bodine.
I think her audio is just now connecting. But back to your song lyrics. Yeah, okay. So I wondered about that because when on first listen, the vibe that you get is just like, you get a sweet wine from this boy and you're saying, hold on now, this man about to leave, I can need me another one before I go. And I mean, maybe that's testament to my dancing abilities, but I don't think that's ever happened to me in real life. I don't know. That's normally not a thing. You just can't do wine and then on to the next one.
I mean, if the bed is small enough or you glimpse him again, I've definitely went to wine with someone another time. I'd probably at least 2 or 3 people. I've had wines not good.
Were they Bahamian?
No.
Oh no.
No.
Whoa. Oh no, gone again.
Hi, Bodine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to be having technical difficulties. I should just go ahead and say now that I'm connected to the internet powered by Alive.
Same.
How's the wine?
It is really good. Very smooth.
South African.
I like it.
There she is.
Guys, I am so sorry. Hi.
It's okay. You're here now and you look fabulous.
Thank you, Jayme. Nick, everybody, I am so very sorry. I don't know why. In my head, I was thinking 6 o'clock as opposed to 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Because the episode.
From there, said 6.
Me and Jayme was literally about to sit here and just talk for an hour and a half casually, and then you were going to hit me up at 6.
Yeah, pretty much. I was taping. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Bodine Pot is just Bodine Pot, and we're not gonna talk about that right now because I done late. So I'm gonna sit small in the corner.
Join the conversation, girl. You're here. That's all that matters.
To get into all of that, I was busy interrogating Jayme about her song lyrics, trying to find out what man she wind up on cause of going back in the party.
The baddest in the section.
Yeah, is that a self-appointed title, or did someone bestow that on you?
Someone actually said that to me.
Oh shit!
I won't call his name.
Don't call his name. I just want to know how.
I can't call his name. He said it to me in Trinidad. After Monday. Yeah, after the road on Monday. And I was in my Bahamian costume, my Bahamian colors on.
All right. So, Bodine, what's going on, man? You got your wine, right?
I did get my wine. I literally I ran out the door to pick it up. It's not chilled. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I pull out the light. If I turn let me see if I can turn my camera around so y'all can see what was happening. Okay, so this is the light right here. And then I have another light over, I can't even see it, but it's somewhere over there. Mm-hmm. And if I take this and put it over there, like literally, we were taping for Bodine Pot.
What were you cooking today?
Yeah, I would like to know. I'm very
hungry. Let me see if I can turn my camera back around. Hi, stop looking at my lights. I'm a whole mess today, guys.
Hey,
It's okay.
God dog it. Okay, please turn. There we go. Okay. Today I'm doing a different take on crab and dough. I'm hoping that it turns out really, really well, because sometimes with these experimental recipes, you gotta cross your fingers so that you don't have to retape it, because I don't feel like picking crab again. But you know how, like, you can't eat crab and dough around people?
Nick does not eat crab and dough, period.
You know,
Well, Jayme, do you eat crab and dough?
one of my favorite meals.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Jayme, see me here, right? We know that when it comes down to crab and dough, that's something that you have to kind of quite possibly be by yourself to eat. You shouldn't be around people,
To
you
really
know,
enjoy
unless
it.
they, yeah, it's weird because, you know, you got like the crab leg or the crab body inside your mouth, and you're crunching and you're biting, and then you got to suck all of the meat out,
Yeah.
and then you take your finger and dip it inside the dough. And I still just want to be cute by the time I finish. By the time I finish, I want to be cute. You know, I've seen
I
girls take
understand.
their wigs off.
No, man.
To eat crab and dough?
Yes. I've seen girls take their wig off and rest it on the side when it's time to eat crab and dough, because you don't want all the juices and stuff inside your hair. You don't want it all over your face. So my thought was, maybe I can make a version of crab and dough that you can eat at a fair. Like, you pick it up and you walk with it and you can eat it. You put it on a stick or something like that, or, you know, you could eat it with your biodegradable fork and carry it along with you. And, you know, you can put the gravy on top of it, and you don't have like that side eye you normally get, you know.
Very interesting.
Yeah, Jayme, think about it. When you dip in the dough inside the crab, right? That don't weird you out just a little bit. Like, it tastes
Does.
good, but it's still kind of weird.
I don't like to see it. I don't like to see the eyes. I don't like to see like the mouth part. Like, it is very, it's amazing
How do you eat it with
visually.
nose it?
Like, for real. So when you sit down, you think about it, right? You know, I know people that give up halfway through eating crab and dough because they'd be like, "Oh, this is disgusting," you know? Like, you're there. So
Yeah.
we could be cute. We could keep it cute.
Mm-mm.
I would really like to try that. I would like to purchase that.
That ain't.
I know. So I'm figuring. Now, there is a place that sells like sea duffs and things like that. I see them sometimes on Prince Charles Drive. And so they make it like a kind of a guava duff situation. But my thought is a mix between a bao, like a steamed dumpling,
Mm-hmm.
filled with like that crab and plantain and sweet potato meat mix.
Now that sounds sexy. I could get behind that. That sounds proper.
I can
So-
put that in a thing.
You
I
understand?
just gotta make it cute.
Let's say when. Guinea pig meat. That sounds dread. Wow.
Yeah.
Tight. Oh, 1 second. My phone dying. Hold on.
Always the animated character.
I know, right?
I told y'all I was a whole mess today. Y'all thought I was joking?
At least you look cute.
Thanks. All right.
Y'all,
Because it would really suck to finally arrive and then get cut off because your phone ain't charging.
no, don't do that. Make sure. Do you guys eat corned beef? Like, is that a thing?
I love corned beef.
Yeah, I like corned beef.
That's dish number 2. Don't do it.
No?
I don't eat corned beef. I don't do crab, fat, and dough. Anything else, and just about anything else, I will eat it. But those two is where I draw a hard line.
I really like corned beef, man. Like a lot. I into that.
I have been
Corned
both.
beef is,
I've been
you know
traumatized
what?
in itself and traumatized by the content. I literally sliced up his finger on a corned beef can one day.
Oh, that's
Is
what
that
it
the
is.
reason why you don't
Traumatized.
eat corned beef?
No, the reason why I don't eat corned beef is because it's nasty. You
Oh.
open that lid of the can and it sounds like fat coming out of a pipe. Like
Yeah.
horrible.
Just
It's a delicacy. It's a delicacy, when you sit down, you think about some other places in the world and it's like $8-9 a can, you realize just how much of a delicacy it actually is. And so,
but the difference in Ireland, for example, in Ireland, corned beef is a brisket. It is like pickled and then it's aged so that the meat sliced really thinly and shit. I will eat that kind of corned beef. I just don't want to eat what I believe is like cow ears and a snout and like some teeth. And
but you eat weird things all the time, Mr. Food and Culture Co. No, I don't want to hear it.
I do eat weird things.
Girl.
Corned beef is just where I draw the line. I don't ask me why.
Of all the things, you draw the line at corned beef.
Yeah, but
do you eat sheep tongue?
I will fuck a sheep tongue sauce right up, but I do not like corned beef.
You eat chicken feet?
Hell no. And I have a really funny story as to why I don't eat chicken feet.
I love to hear it.
I fell asleep in the car one time when I went to the food store with my mom, right? I was young. And she ran in to go grab some shit. I thought it was a good idea to go get a chicken foot, like a freshly cut chicken foot from the butcher. And when she got back in the car, she put the chicken foot on my face and started scratching my cheek with it. I just opened my eye and saw this chicken foot in front of me, and I was just terrified. And since then, I don't bother with it. It brings back painful memories of like city markets.
You have a lot of trauma stories.
We need to have a conversation with your mom.
Man, she was the ultimate prankster in my life. This woman has literally spooked me once where I jumped and almost put a hole in the wall in our house, like in one of them sheetrock walls that divide the room. Jesus Lord.
That's
but lives for a practical joke. And I mean, I'm her only child, so I was the guinea pig for every single time she decided it was time to get off.
Very good.
What you eating?
Yeah,
me?
Like to know.
Okay.
Something
The original plan was some scones to go with this wine, right? Because I was saying, okay, I'm 30 minutes out from finishing this taping. So I could put these scones together really, really quickly, and then I can have them with my wine and turn it into a kind of brunchy super thing. Come and charm y'all with like my crab and dough, because these wines look real good. And so I have Bakehouse coffee cake. Like I was there yesterday, and I am just here living my best Bakehouse life. This is half of the slice. You see how big this is?
Wow.
Half of the slice. And
I'm coming for a slice of that.
I haven't had Bakehouses yet, but all my friends have.
Nor have I.
you beaten, Jayme.
Yeah.
Jayme, you need beaten. You being too busy with all of your endorsements and contracts and things.
You're in the bag, man.
Get that bag, baby. Okay, let me calm down.
No, that's the end.
So good though. Wow.
Do you guys like there's an overlap in sort of your music, right? Have you two ever performed together or at the same event?
Same event, yes. Perform together, no.
No? So
I think the last
when you can get this Brandy Monica
event. Sorry?
when you can get this Brandy Monica Boy Is Mine duet for 2020 though.
I'm about that life.
Y'all need to make a song like Bahamianize it and call it That's My Things.
Now, let me tell you. say Bahamianize it and call it That's My Things. Let me be honest. At this stage in my life, I'm not interested in competition. I'm not interested in anything that's going to pit me against another artist, much less another female artist. My energy ain't there. I'm about it. I don't encourage it with my fans because I really believe that, one, you don't have to like both persons, both artists. And two, just because you like one more than the other doesn't mean that you have to set them against one another. I'm about it. So I basically turned down nominations for awards because I just don't want to be in that competitive space. I'm not interested.
Really?
So yeah, at this stage, I'm interested. To me, while I do appreciate the fact that people nominate me for these events, I am still in a place where I don't want, whether I win or lose an award, to determine my wealth or my value as an artist or my worth in terms of my art. And I know art is subjective. And so because it's subjective, I prefer to not participate in anything that's going to make me feel as though I'm competing with somebody else, because I'm in a lane of my own.
Can I be honest about something?
Go ahead.
I also hate competition. I don't like any competitions, and I'll give you guys the tea. I was in a little competition and I didn't know it was a competition until I got there.
Don't you just hate that?
I was about to.
You can't skimp on the details now. What do you mean you didn't know till you got there? Like, what kind of competition? So
I had an opportunity, and this is no knock on anyone. I think it was just really miscommunication. But I got invited to participate in something to share my previous work, and I was told that it was going to be like a showcase for my work and another artist's work, but they didn't really say that it would be, at the end of the day, someone would win until I got there. And I remember texting my best friend, and I was like, girl, this is supposed to be a competition, and they didn't tell me this. And I mean, I won that one, and then I was told that there was another round of competition. And then I was like, so y'all gonna really make me, like, fight to say I have this title, and never again. Had I known that it was going to be you against you, and I would not have done it, And so I'm all for collaboration. I love to work with. That's how I started by collaborating with other artists. But like Bodine said, like, you're in your own lane. Like, I know my talent is like that. There's only one Jayme,
Right.
and I don't want to be. And of course, someone asked me before, have I been inspired by other artists? I'm inspired by every artist that I listen to, but no one per se inspires my style or like my flow, so I don't compare myself to anyone, but I can appreciate another artist's work, especially another woman.
See, and I love that. Jayme, I love that. And I've always loved your energy from the first time I met you. And it's important for us to be able to say that when it comes down to marketing and promotion, for example, Nick, you made the reference to like The Boy Is Mine and Brandy and Monica, and that actually changed the trajectory of both of their careers permanently. When you sit down and you listen to the story behind how the record labels may not have intended for it to be that, but the fans of these two major artists took it to a completely different level. And I'm not about putting that energy out into the world. As far as the competition is concerned, Jayme, I have been in that place before where, somebody convinces you, okay, well, do this and it's going to be great for promotion. So you're thinking that you're just participating in something that's going to be, really nice in terms of placement. And you are providing the service of being there and performing or being able to share the art, which is a billable hour or 2 hours, the amount of time. And then they don't disclose to you straight off the bat, oh, well, we're going to have a voting component. If I know there's a voting component, I am not participating. No, I'm not doing it. You know why? Because there is a thing that I dislike about marketing and promotions, which is not disclosing all of the information ahead of time. And I consider that to be a breach of the contract that we agreed to, verbal or otherwise. I'm interested. And so I have specifically withdrawn from competitions and withdrawn from nominations, like I said earlier, specifically because I am trying to stress myself out, spamming my audience, spamming my fans. I think a lot of people don't realize just how much time and effort it takes to create a campaign, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're creating a campaign and you're cross-promoting, but there is no guarantee, especially if you label it as a competition, there is no guarantee that you're going to be compensated for the amount of time and effort that you put into creating and promoting that campaign on behalf of the brand. And knowing what I know now, I'm much more careful with the brands that I work along with. And I explicitly tell them, what my expectations are, and I get explicit expectations from them as well, so that we don't have any miscommunications.
Got you. Do you guys ever face any intellectual property issues as artists? Like, do people ever try to copy your things or take your photos, use your images, that kind of vibe?
I did have a situation where it never really got, it was never blown up to that point because the person was really just talking bullshit, to be honest with you. But I remember one of my friends came back to me and said someone was at Fusion saying that they wrote something that I wrote, the Alive jingle. I'll just be transparent. And I was like, the person was drunk and was just like, oh, you know, and this song, and I did that. And so the person who they said it to, they didn't know that that person was a very good friend of mine. And they were like, so how come you never said anything? Or, so where did you get the inspiration from? Where did you find the beat? Where did you do this? And that was the only thing that I've ever had to deal with. I've never had to really deal, because it didn't come to me. It didn't go to anyone else, but they got drunk and they were among some people who they thought were like in the industry. So they were trying to get some credits or trying to say that Jayme didn't do X, Y, Z, but when the questions were posed to them, they had no answer. But I know for a fact that it wasn't anything to worry about, because if you felt as if this, if you knew it was something that you wrote or something that you were involved with, you would have went to the company, or you would have came to me, or you would have posted something about it. You never did, because obviously it never happened. But there are some crazy people out there who would, you know, make up things or steal your photos, or, you know, just some really weird shit.
Mind you, when I was first starting out, you know, I wore a little bit less clothes than I do now. I mean, and the biggest issue that we had during that era was people putting your photo on a flyer advertising that you're going to be somewhere that you are not going to be, because they've not hired you, you've not had a conversation. And I only had to deal with a situation like that once. Everybody knows about Bodine Victoria, Bodine B. Johnson, that I will call you out in public, on social media, no cap, no pump faking, no skylarking. I don't play that. So people don't try that foolishness anymore. You have a conversation with me and then we figure it out. But other than that, I've been fortunate enough to work with some very responsible and respectful people inside the industry. And another part of what I do is whenever I do collaborate with somebody, or I take inspiration from somebody, or if I explicitly use a theme or a line of something that somebody has created, I cite their work. I cite the person. We have a problem with plagiarism and citation here in the Bahamas. We don't like to say who we get inspiration from. We don't like to say who we get things from. And that's part of the problem, because it kills the culture. It introduces a state of distrust in people, and also it's a very selfish kind of act to try to make yourself elevated in the eyes of the public without taking the person that inspired you along with you in terms of being able to give them visibility. It's very gravelicious, and ain't nobody got time for that. So I am one of those persons, where possible, honestly, where possible, and when I am not completely ignorant of something or the origin of something, I credit and I cite people. And so I've not had any cases where anybody could say, oh, I write that for Bodine. I have not heard anything, because I write all of my music myself. Nobody writes for me.
All right. Well, I guess in that vein, you both have that sort of under control. I've often wondered if those are some of the challenges that recording artists in particular in the Bahamas had to deal with. Like, you know, obviously in the States and in bigger markets, they deal with people stealing their music. There was a whole court case that I can't remember now, but it involved 9 notes in one song that ended up costing somebody a couple $1 million because...
Was it Blurred Lines?
Blurred Lines, that's it. Robin Thicke, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Everybody get up.
Yeah, I've often wondered if people police that here. Like, do you guys think you would catch it if you heard one of your, maybe a lyric or something similar?
Yes. When you write something, you will catch that.
Yeah.
When that's yours,
Mm.
whether it is a melody or my words, I know it because that came from me.
Well, I've seen producers. One of my friends recently just called somebody out because the lines here are very blurred as it relates to production. I just had a conversation with one of my very good friends and another of my friends who are on different sides of the production divide and the copyright divide as it relates to instrumentation. The issue that we have here in the Bahamas is that, let's say I give a producer my stems, right? There's a show, you need my stems. The artist is being backed by a house band. You provide the person your stems, you provide the person basically all of your instrumentals. And then when you listen 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, you hear elements of your music produced by your producer in somebody else's song. I paid for that. I paid thousands of dollars for those stems. So we have an ethical issue. And then when you call them out on it, well, my friend called somebody else out on it, and they was like, oh, well, you know, this is a particular type of instrument, and so there are fundamentals for this instrument, so what you're doing ain't nothing special. Well, if what the person did ain't nothing special, you go inside the studio, you take your drum and you create your own way that it is played so that you can have that for your production, as opposed to stealing, because I didn't sell it to you. I didn't give you the rights to it. We didn't trade for it. You had access to it by false pretenses, or you had access to it for a particular job. But when you don't delete that from your servers after that job is done, and you take that to something else, you are stealing. You are stealing by way of employment. And I think that within itself is the issue. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Nick, you could use the lawyer here. You could let me know.
I got you. You on the right track. You are on the right track.
Thank you very much.
You own it, and someone uses it as their own. There's even bigger penalty. You got to pass it off. You got, I mean, depending on how deep this music goes, if it's something particularly unique to you, there's a whole slew of intellectual property crimes being committed. I mean, that's millions of dollars of damages if you were in the U.S. and you bring a lawsuit against somebody for that. Like, they don't play about that. And I mean, I agree, because for creatives in particular, the difficulty is always a lot of what you make is intangible. So it's not like you can literally build a fence and corral your music so that you can't get in the yard like it's coconuts or something on a tree. You have to really take that step to do what you got to do, and you got to be vicious about that, because if something sounds good, somebody out there is going to steal it at some point in time. They're going to try it.
Yeah, and again, I think that the biggest issue that we have is citations. Some of these things can be as easy as, babe, I really like what you did in the song on the stem. I want to know if I can use it. So you have the option of leasing the sound for one particular song, and then you get the writer's credit, let's say 5-10%, depending on how much they use of it in the song through the performing rights organization. If somebody uses my vocals, my acapella vocals as a sample for another song, I am the original artist for that sound. So you have to pay me, or you have to give me my PRO on that song. I mean, it's that simple, but we don't have conversations with people about things like this. We don't credit, we don't cite, and that's disrespect. That's the height of disrespect.
Agreed. Jayme, you want to weigh in on that before I jump in on another question?
From you saying you did this, everything she said, I agree with. Everything she said.
I feel you. Is there, this is for both of you, is there an international recording artist that would be your dream artist to work with?
Jayme, you got this?
When I think about it, you know what's crazy? I don't know if it's just me, but I don't have like one favorite artist. Like I have a host of artists who are like my favorite artist. But I don't have like one favorite.
Let's
And
say you
there
have-
are,
let's say you have an artist bank then. If you, tomorrow, you could make a song with one particular one, who would you choose?
y'all, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. There are a lot of people I really want to work with. Bodine can answer.
For me, I would say, well, Beyonce, although her work ethic is ridiculous. First of all, juicy body gals, let's link up, okay? Because she and I have the exact same body type. So I just wanna throw Beyonce out there. I'ma love me some Beyonce. But the reason why I would love to work with her is because when she started, she was not the best singer. She definitely was not the best dancer. But she has been able to work to be someone that's exceptional at what she does. And that is the difference between somebody that is just average to somebody that is legendary for me. And I think that she is definitely the epitome of that. And then she's a businesswoman as well. So while we do have some concerns about her being accused of taking other creators' work visually, you know, getting away from there, not giving her right for that, she's still being able to put herself in a position where she can earn money in fashion, earn money in real estate. You know, she has so many different, what do we call it, endorsements and just avenues of income. Like, her streams of income are crazy. Another person would quite possibly be Janelle Monáe, simply because she has such a versatility when it comes to acting, singing, dancing. Like, she's just straight up performance. And I love me some Jill. Some Erica.
My favorite artist.
Yeah, like, you know, and Jill nasty. I like that about
Very
her. She's
nasty.
She nasty in a way that, you know, just make you be like, yes, girl, yes.
Poetic nasty.
Yeah, let's be an adult. I like it.
Kind of nasty. Jill Scott got the science.
Yeah, man, she's no joke. Jill Scott, take your man.
I get into that. What's 2021 bringing for you in terms of music, Bodine? You would admit Jayme and I having the conversation about what she's got on and popping. Although I kind of want to come back to that just because of the nature of that track list. I find that I think that'll make for a good conversation to get Bodine in on too. But first, what's 2021 got for you, music wise?
I am taking it one day at a time. You see my, first of all, I'm a control freak. Okay, I'm sorry. When it comes to my art, I like to control things. COVID almost caused me have a nervous breakdown because I had so many plans, so many things on the line that stopped or were put on pause or were further delayed as it relates to COVID. And when you're somebody that plans and you're somebody that puts a lot of effort into things, that will set you off kilter. So with 2021, I have basically a timeline of things. I've also learned not to really, really disclose things until they're just ready to drop. But you're going to see acting, you're going to see more performances on stage. And I'm looking forward to expanding my ever-growing coconut empire. Leave it nice and vague.
Always very vague. I'm not going to tackle that. I will leave you to that one, and I look forward to the surprises. So I had asked Jayme about her what was her muse for a few of her songs, and she told me that she has a track list on her upcoming EP that has a lot of stories about the fellas that were the true loves in her life. You ever write a story about a fella?
First of all, always, Juicy Fruit and Intoxicated are about the same guy.
Really?
I love him. Yeah, he married now and with a baby on the way, so I can't love him no more.
Oh Lord,
yeah. So it's Intoxicated, it's Juicy Fruit, and it's Rick Carey's song "Man in Uniform." Call me. it's originally named Man in Uniform, okay? So if you know, call me. It goes, oh, glory. How does the song start? Anyway, it talks about him being the fireman and he putting out the fire because she tried putting it out herself and the flames just got worse.
How did that go? Wow. Cool. That's great. That's really about an actual person, like someone you've loved before.
Yeah, I mean, and then the thing is, you don't ever stop loving somebody. I think that the way that you love them changes based on how life progresses. So, you know, it's not going to be, it's no way for anybody to continue and to act on that because there's a line that's drawn that I completely respect now. So, you know, no. But at the same time, for those 3 songs in particular, he was very much a representation of that kind of fire and that passion and the highs and the lows kind of in the relationship. You go from being absolutely intoxicated to being annoyed because he's just taking so long to act and holding up the production because you could have been married with children by now. But maybe it would have been to the wrong person, so you ain't sure. So you're still entertaining him a little bit because he coming by the shop from time to time, and and then you have exactly what I said, and then you have Call Me, and you know, Call Me is just a really big callback to traditional Bahamian nuance and insinuation, like the art of insinuation and just being fresh without saying you got the WAP.
We need a Bahamian equivalent, like a Bahamian equivalent of that song. That would slap. My God.
I think
we don't need no
person.
Excuse me, we don't need no Bahamian equivalent to that song. Let me tell you why. I have a song called Sugar in the Plum.
I know Sugar in the Plum.
It says, cocoa water, it don't stop. Magic flow from the juice box. Serve it cold or I heat it up. I sweet like a sugar in a plum.
Child, please. I'm hard in here.
I need you to get it together.
Ooh.
Wendy has a song where the man sings, bang, bang, damn gal, you juicy, juicy. Me and Wendy had to have a conversation about her using Juicy Juicy though. Because she had people asking me if I sing that song because I had kind of branded Juicy as me. But the point is, she says, you're sweeter than mango dilly, pineapple got nothing on me, okay? What do you think?
That is very much along the lines of what I'm thinking, but if you'll excuse my taste for dark, nasty, seductive music, I would love for it to go a little deeper. We need to name the song A, Grab B, and Grab C. You understand? You take it from there.
Right, you know what?
I don't have anything super nasty, but you all know I got that good.
See, and that's it. Jayme be running right out of these. I got the good.
I love
that line to me.
Like, it stops for a split second, and you literally go.
I had a man sing that line to me.
What? That's it. So
this before, after, or what?
Hearing.
Oh shit!
I love it. So, I have a song with Tarnash. It's called Sugar Daddy. Ton sings, if you got the sugar, I could be your sugar daddy. So I get in, it's a role play song. It's not in the genre of traditional Bahamian, but I'm a rapper. And so I said, yeah, I got the sugar daddy. I can't do it because it's kind of weird. Hold on. Yeah, I got that sugar daddy, and yeah, and just your type. You call me Mrs. More, I'll give you more of what you like. Like it's sweet, like it's soft, let it roll over your tongue. Pussy popping, I'm your favorite flavor, Mrs. Bubble Yum. Pretty starburst, pink and passionate, rock on my cherry red. Lick the sugar, apple juice, that juicy fruit all in your bed.
That's my kind of stuff.
We pioneered the WAP. God, you fucking made my God.
I said what I said. I don't get to role play, you know, like honestly, because I teach, I don't get to do like grown woman stuff the way that I would want to do like grown woman stuff, because I'd be like, y'all be playing with me, y'all be playing in my face, y'all think because I don't open my mouth that I can't say things. Y'all better be thankful I have mastered the art of metaphor and simile and onomatopoeia and all of the figurative language terms. Y'all better thank God. Because if I don't, what's in my head? Y'all know them old Grammys who would say whatever it is that they want to say, and you can't say that. Wait, give me 10 years. I'm an ancient man, y'all.
I'm waiting for it. I'm excited. Let the chopper sing. Sing your song?
Which song?
Your students ever sing your song? Any of them?
Yeah, you know, they do. And I like the fact that they do. And they acknowledge that, well, no, I think some of them don't realize what they be singing sometimes. Because not everything is be fresh, but most of it is be fresh. Because I tell them, man, if juicy fruit ain't your thing, then get off the line, right? It's
They picked that up yet. They picked that up.
And people think Rockin' My Cherry is the nasty song. That ain't a nasty song. Like, that literally is the most innocent song I have.
No, but you know what? You know what it is? As somebody that has watched you perform, regarded that I can't say where I was because I wasn't supposed to be there. You was getting a little wild on that stage when you performing that song.
Yeah, man. Because you got to play. Think about it. When we were small, we used to get beaten for playing Rockin' My Cherry.
Mm.
The way that I wrote the song is in the context of being able to dance with anybody at an event or at a carnival, because I released it before the carnival season. When you think about going out to ring play, it is just being able to dance with whoever it is that you want to dance with when you want to dance with them, and there's nothing more behind it. You're just having a really good time. And so my sister is the inspiration for that song. When she goes out, she's the nicest person. She wants to dance. She wants to play with everybody, you know, and you can't out-dance my sister. I get tired watching her dance. You can't out-dance her. And so Rockin' My Cherry is for Ebony Bahamas. Now, girls just get mad, though, because she just be dancing, and sometimes she might be dancing with their man, and they don't understand. She just dancing. Like, she ain't trying to take it.
I just want to plug that in. I love to see her dance.
Thank you.
She was with you to when we went to oh Lord, the Soca Sundays.
I feel
Yes. I was with my hand on my head and be like, Jesus. So I can't, if it's an event where I gotta dance, I'm dancing. I just move because I have a little bit of body. I have enough body to move and gyrate a little bit to keep people interested while I'm there, and I got like facial expressions. But she's a dancer. So
stop talking shit, man. I watch when they pass out in the audience. The man drop his whole collect on the ground and throw his hands up to the Lord and say, "My Jesus," and party over.
I mean, that's what they like. I mean, I do say that's what they like. Like, that's what they like. I'm gonna capitalize on that when I'm on stage, but I can't dance. I'll do like one or two little steps here or there. I mean, pop this gungi a little bit, but that's about it. You don't look for no footwork. It's not gonna happen.
Jenna bounce.
You go up, down, watch it go, bam, bam, bam. Watch it go, bam. Y'all want to hear the story about bam, bam, bam.
What'd you say, man?
I say she got to Master Roach or do something.
I could dance. I like to dance. I'm wild, man, but y'all already knew that.
that just be so much energy. Like, I'm the girl. When I go to events, I can stand up. I get more joy watching people experience the event than I get actually being up and down dancing. Like, I like to watch people. Yeah. like to watch people.
I am so much of the opposite. Like, I am the person that you're watching. I promise you. If you see me leave my house to go to like a party or somewhere where they're gonna be playing music, I dance. And me and my friend, me, Sasha, Lacey, we in the front, and we having a good time.
Listen, and the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. I'm having a good time, but they think that because I'm not dancing, I don't enjoy dancing. I do not find
people enjoy events differently, though.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration. So if you're having an event where there's no lounge, if there are no bar stools, I ain't coming to the event to stand up all night. I ain't into that. I'm dancing up and down all night. I want to be cute. I want to take pictures. I want to drink. I want to be just a little bit bourgeois.
Boy, you must know that word, but fly off my tongue. You could never call me again.
Call me what you want. I don't care. But I
all of that. I'm a mix of all of that. But if I spend my money to like go somewhere, more 99.9% of the time, if I am like out, like if I'm in a club or whatever, I have a table or I'm in VIP. But I'm definitely gonna go in general at some point because that's where the party is happening. So like, I definitely can relate with you, like, because I have to have my pictures. I need you to know. The party doesn't start until I know, hey, I have at least 4 pictures I like to choose from. After I have those pictures, the party is happening. But I like to dance. I on the floor. My heels are still on, though. I promise you that.
Yeah.
But I'm on the floor.
Hold on.
No. Bodine is a barefoot gal.
Jayme, you're so come off.
I think we're all sort of somewhere in the same age bracket. I'm not gonna ask. I'm just gonna assume. What was your favorite club when y'all used to really party in your, let's say, 20s, casually? What was your hot?
No. I'm actually the baby of the bunch. I'm not going to say my age, but I am the baby. So y'all can talk about your favorite club.
You want me to be honest? I don't like clubs.
Well, where you used to go? What was your
let me be very honest. I only go to clubs or events if it's a very, very good friend and they're having an event and I have to be there to support. But I don't find clubs to be the place where I want to be I don't like the amount of people around me all the time. And it's over sensory for me. So even if I'm going to an event like a party, a soca party or whatever, you will always find me either backstage where I can control kind of the amount of people in my space, or you would find me in the corner. I feel overstimulated. I never sit with my back to the door. I'm one of those persons. And, if I go to an event in a club, I'm staying for 30 to 45 minutes. 30 to 45 minutes and then I'm out. So I try to pick those things really, really carefully and really, really well because that's hair, makeup, clothes, shoes. I got to drive there. I like smaller, more intimate gatherings with friends as opposed to, I'm not a club girl. And as a matter of fact, I remember in my 20s, I went on a first date with somebody. And thank God Cozy Corner was closed that day because it was a bar.
What the hell is Cozy Corner?
Ooh, wow.
What is that?
Cozy Corner was in Sandy Port. Oh, well, the 2 of y'all's babies. Cozy Corner was this bar in Sandy Port that had like a pool room and things like that. You cannot take me to, I'm happy it was closed because we ended up going to Johnny Canoe for dinner, which was much more my speed than a bar to give me drinks and for me to sit and talk with you over a first date. And in my 20s, that was not what I wanted to do. I liked the ambiance of Johnny Canoe. I liked the warmth of it. I liked the fact that it was semi-private. You could hear the person that you were talking to, you know, for the date. And I guess it's different things, but pretty much I'm more of a homebody. So if we had ended up at Cozy Corner, I probably would not have gone on a second date with him.
Oh wow! Did
I
you end up getting in a relationship with this dude? Just curious.
Yeah. That's Mr. Intoxicated, you know.
Oh, all right. Right. And
That's what it was.
I'm very tough when it comes to first dates. Like, don't even ask me out of you. Yeah, I'm very. I don't play around with that kind of stuff.
oh, this is a fun conversation to have. So now you're each going to tell me what your ideal first date is.
Jayme, you got this first.
What does Mr. First Date have to bring in terms of A game? What are the minimum requirements?
I'll take it. But for me, I won't even go as deep to talk about like a specific place or a specific thing, but it has to be thoughtful. It has to be classy and like up to the standard of life that, let's just say, you are interested in me long term. Whatever you decide to do for me first should match that standard. You need to introduce me to what it is that you want to give me as a woman in a relationship. And so I'll give an example. My ex, there's a song for him on that tape. My first date with him was in Exuma. So he scheduled the flight, flew me down. We were swimming with the pigs, doing all of this. Then we came back, dinner at Nobu. Like, I need you to like put effort into it. And you know, not all the time, it's not always about the cash you spend, but consider me, consider my personality, consider what it is you think that I would like, and always be thoughtful. You know, like it's the thoughtfulness that counts. And so for me, I'm extremely adventurous. And then I also have that, I grew up kind of spoiled. So to find that balance is like major key, you know? So for me, taking me there so I can go and swim and jump off a boat and do all that fun stuff, and then come back to Nassau in time to go shower and get ready, switch my wig to a dry wig, get all dressed up, go to Nobu, and then go into a club and take shots all night. Like, I'm with all of that. So if you are coming to me with a first date, like, put some thought into it, plan it out, present it to me, and I'm there. But the thing about it is, I will also reciprocate. So
that's important. It's very important. Bodine, let's hear yours.
Well, in terms of a first date for me, it changed slightly from my 20s into my 30s and going into my 40s. So in my 20s, it was more of, you know, romance, like a really nice dinner, candlelit, you know, kind of situation. And then I realized that I don't like talking to people for the first time over food. Like,
don't let then it's a problem.
Like, you interrupting my meal. Like, can we not do that? So I realized that I have to like you enough to take me out to eat. Okay? So I'm like, okay, dinner at a nice restaurant for a first date? No. I realized that I like more activity-based dates. So you can take me rock climbing. You can take me swimming, maybe fishing. I just started to like that kind of stuff. You can take me to, you know, kind of, let's have an excursion of sorts. I'm pretty difficult when it comes down to dates. And really and truly, I liked, as a way of dating me, guys would send me song lyrics. They would introduce me to new artists. I like that. I loved getting surprise flowers and bouquets. I don't like baked flowers. I don't like big, ostentatious ones. Well, Jayme, that's you. I like small.
You want him to run out a little bit.
Small, expensive flowers and arrangements. I like small, expensive ones. I don't like big, you know, I just feel, not you, Jayme. I feel like some people think the bigger the basket, the better it is. And I'm like, no, they cheap flowers.
It's not always the case for real.
Not.
Yeah.
Let's take a little photo. On my birthday week, I got a bouquet of roses every day for that entire week. That's my kind of thing.
Damn. Okay.
You know, yeah, you know, things like that. I even, you know, as I like, this is gonna sound, you know, kind of weird. My first date with my current guy, and that's how I know I changed, was him just kind of saying, hey, I go into the movies, I bought you a ticket, come with me. And I was like, okay. We ended up going for the movies because it was just so refreshing, because it was so innocent and no pressure and just laid back, that he invited himself to my house, and we ended up sitting on the couch, and I ended up falling asleep on his shoulder while we was watching I don't even remember what we was watching. Okay. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, this is nice. Because it was a different type of intimacy that was missing.
And it was comfortable.
Like, you know, he was attracted to you, but he was just so chill and cool. And now he annoys me to no end.
I like him.
like for real though, he annoys me to no end. But there was just something about him that it wasn't fussy, it wasn't overly done. It was what you see is what you get. I didn't have to be afraid of, is he going to change down the line? He didn't set my expectations up so high that if he couldn't maintain it, it was going to be a problem. I know from the get-go what I was going to get. Now, from time to time, I have to say, hey, where are my flowers? Okay?
Actually, walk up on that man and start clapping too.
Sorry, that's hilarious.
Because some, like, you know, he honestly, we went to dinner for the first time, and he ain't let me tell you something, he ain't put on no suit, he ain't put on no tie. He's gonna get dressed up, he could be fresh up, you know, but he's gonna be his authentic self. And I believe that when it comes down to going on a first date, I just need to see you. I don't want to see pretend you. I want to see you. And now I just gotta say, babe, honey. No, I do this. Honey, it's time for dinner.
Oh, Jesus.
And so he's rolling his eyes and saying, where you want to go? And then I tell him, and then we go. And you're going to see all of the photos and the pictures because he's not that type of person. But I can tell you one thing, that consistency.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
See it indeed. What was your worst first date?
The worst first date?
Maybe going for the wine.
Guys, I having some problem with my speaker. I can't hear you guys. So I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to come back, and hopefully it's fixed.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we could wait a second for her to come back.
Yeah.
I want you to believe Bodine is walk up in the back of that man for real and hit him with the clap.
Yeah, where am I going?
Okay, I think it's fixed. Let me see.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you guys now.
Awesome.
I don't know why. But Nick, I think you would ask about the worst date.
Worst date you've ever been on. I don't know if I want to necessarily talk about mine, but maybe we'll get into that. Let me hear from y'all.
I mean, I know I talked about what my ideal date would be like, and I really use like my first date with my ex to kind of use the comparison. I don't go on that many first dates. And something about myself, and I'll be honest, it's something I'm working on. I don't like to meet new guys. I don't like new people like that. Like I, this year, this is the first time that I've dated someone different. But since 2015, I've dated 2 guys, and it may be horrible, but when it wasn't one, it was the next. So I haven't had a lot of new men in my life and like new dates. It was really A or B. So, and both of them gave me pretty good experiences. So I can't really talk about like a worst date kind of situation.
Well, there was a period in my life where it was a little rough. So, and honestly, because we didn't take pictures, some of them I don't remember. You know, like when you put traumatic experiences to the back of your head, so you don't remember them anymore. I do remember though, this dude took me to dinner, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I got us a room," and I'm like, "For what?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, I just thought we hit it off." I'm like, "We barely said like 3 words to each other during dinner." I said, "I could pay for my meal, you know." And he's like, "Oh, so the same what I thought it was?" I was like, "What did you think it was?" You know, because you have those guys that automatically believe that they ask you out on a date and automatically, you know, y'all go, "Nigga, what? Nah, bruh. If you tell me you're taking me out for dinner, I want you to know I have my money to pay for my food."
Just in case your little card declined.
Child please. Motherfucker.
No, we have cash and
a little.
You know what I mean? Like, so
like dating, and is that what's like dating now? Like for women, you have to be mindful of all this kind of weird shit. Like
you do.
Yeah.
See, now
this is why I stuck with the same 2 guys because like I kind of go out there and deal with all that. Like it is a lot.
Honestly, it just be a bunch of ratchetry, okay? It's hardcore ratchet folks out there who don't have no home training, or the home training they have is questionable because I don't know what their mommy taught them, but clearly it wasn't how to value and respect women. You know, and I understand that some gals out there, you know, they want a free meal. I get it. I'm mad at you. But at the same time, I make very clear my intentions from the get-go. So I tell you straight up, I am looking for a long-term committed relationship. I'm interested in seeing people on the side. I'm interested in sleeping with no bunch of people. I let you know that off the bat. There was a time when I was open to open relationships because it would allow you to figure out whether or not, I shouldn't say open relationships because that may put the wrong term, but you could date. You could date. You could see other people. And I would still entertain you because you need to be sure you want to be with me because I don't have time to play, right? Which turned out not to be a really great thing. So, in terms of dating and men and guys, I can't say that all of those dating experiences have been good and they've been positive, but I can say that when they were good, they were really good.
I've not had that many horrible dating experiences. I don't know. I'm weird. Small things will set me off. So obviously food is my thing. Going to dinner is like my go-to in terms of a first date, but I don't like to go to like regular places with dinner. Like we can do something a little special, slightly over the top, but not too dramatic. Man, this one time, when this gal opened his menu and asked for the grilled salmon, I tweeted about this shit a week ago. I kid you not, that set everything in my brain completely off. I was like, wow, she really said the L.
I don't laugh at you, but it's funny.
I don't know, stuff like that. Stuff like that just makes me think. There's just how did you get there? So she said the L, and you know what? That biased every conversation I had with her after that, because I could not pass salmon every damn time. Salmon.
I could be that kind of person though. Not the kind that says the L, but the kind that is very picky. So I understand it, and I'll be transparent. Like even when it comes down to like certain food, like. Both of you are foodies. I'm not really a big foodie. I'm a foodie in the sense that, like, if Bodine says she's cooking a special crab and dough, Jayme's going to eat it. And if Nick says, hey, I have this special thing from South Africa or Ireland, Jayme's going to eat it. But, like, I'm not a big cook, so, like, I'm not, like, that versed when it comes to, like, food and stuff. But I usually date people who are. So I learn from them and from my friends. So I'm not a big wine enthusiast or like, you know, a big foodie. So I don't want to say I understand her because salmon isn't like a basic word to me. But I've been in predicaments where there are some things and I'm like, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but can I have this one, please? Thank you.
You're smart. Because sometimes you don't know all the French words, and you know you don't know all the Creole words.
I read a whole lot more than I listen, so like I know what a word means sometimes, but I may not be that versed in like pronouncing this. So I'm gonna say, hey, can I have this? And I'll ask you, hey, or I'm just gonna go on Google and be like, pronunciation. So the next time I know what to say.
It's so funny. Funny story. The first time I had sashimi, I was dating this man. He was like 16 years my senior. He takes me out to Ichiban. And like, he's like, well, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, oh, I want sushi. And so I don't know what nigiri is. I don't know, you know, that some of these things are just like raw fish. So I'm like, I want the sashimi platter. And this dude bought me $70 worth of sashimi. Okay?
Raw fish all damn night.
So, me by myself, $70 worth of sashimi.
That's a good man. No questions asked. That's what you want? Okay.
Cool. Make it happen. Make it snappy, papi. Wow.
Platter gets put in the front of me, and I'm looking, trying, you know, first the shock registers because now I feel guilty. There's $70 for the raw fish in front of me. Never had wasabi before. Didn't like soy sauce at the time because I didn't, you know, I didn't have an acquired palate for that. So I go, can't hold the chopsticks properly, try to bite, you know, the raw fish. And he looks at me as I try to get it down, and he's like, you don't like it, hey? I'm like, I just let it go straight down my throat. Like, I sit there and I'm like,
I feel that. I mean, I'm more open to the person that says, hey, I don't know what this is, you know, how do I pronounce this, or what is this particular dish? Because one of the things I think I enjoy most in relationships is I like to learn things from people. That's not just intimate relationships. That's like if I meet somebody new for the first time, I'm probably going to ask you 10 of the most outlandish questions that you've ever been asked, because I want to know what your raw identity is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm never going to let that salmon thing go. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is what it is. Sorry?
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't let it go.
No.
And even to this day, I mean, I don't want to call her name, but she knows who she is. To this day, if I see her, sometimes I still be like, damn it, salmon.
Oh gosh. So it's funny. I can't date dudes that cannot speak standard English. And if you can't write standard English, I can't date you. You have some people that have really, really nice personalities and they are good, but I can't overlook it. So I used to like this guy. He was so nice. He was so nice. When I say he was so nice, honestly, to date, I don't think that anybody has gone to the extent that he has to kind of wow me. We're talking about this dude just out of the blue would send me chocolate covered strawberries, and he would pick like really great wine just out of the blue. And this guy, like for my birthday, he would just go all out. So he even put on one of my events, and he paid, like I paid half and he paid the other half, and then he worked with me. Like there have been no other men that have done that, but me and my fool self. He couldn't speak standard English, and he couldn't type standard English. And when I would read like the messages, I would be like, oh my God. Like it just, I repent every day because I just, I'm sorry. Like he is,
I can relate.
One of the uses I apostrophe M with AM.
no, it's literally it's worse than that. Like he could not spell. I don't want to say he was functionally illiterate, but I do want to say that he had a really great heart and personality, but he just could not. It makes me sad to think about it. He was the sweetest person on earth, but I couldn't look past the fact that that's where he was. And then he is also so wrapped up in work that he's not interested in changing that, because he could work and he could earn, but he's not interested in that. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait, my children.
Yep.
You know, I'm thinking like that. So, you know, dating is being rough. Like you may like somebody a whole lot, and then you got to figure out, wait, is this on the 80% side, or is this on the 20% side? Can I live 50-50, 60-40?
I have the same situation, but I really can't like delve too much into it because this is a well-known guy. But like, he's doing so good, and he treated me so well. But I had to sit down and be like,
you got to get hooked.
I want this nigga to raise your kids, girl. And you with him discipline your daughter. And I'm like, this nigga doesn't know your from your. So it's just like, yeah, he did this, but long term, and I'm a journalist. I worked at the NASA Guardian. I worked at a job, like that's my background. So it's just like, you can't spell.
Yeah, it's more than a pet peeve. You know, people think that it's a superficial thing. It's not a superficial thing. It's more of a quality of life thing than anything else. And so, you know, somebody may be able to pay for a tutor. You may be able to pay for these things, but suppose you can't pay for them. And so you are going to really affect your ability to kind of nurture and spend time with your child and educate your child, you know, later on in life. Or, you know, even further, let's say you have legal issues or you have contracts that you need to work with, you know, it makes you concerned that somebody's going to take advantage of you or bamboozle you because you don't know any better and you're not trying to know any better. So it's not, again, it ain't because the person ain't a beautiful person, a beautiful spirit. It's just that they ain't the right person for you. And sometimes my mommy used to say, you pick and pick till you pick a needle with no eye, but a needle without an eye is a stick pin. I might need a stick pin.
I have never heard that one before. I got to write that down.
Pick and pick?
Yeah, never heard that before.
I pick bad.
I always hear women complain. I mean, everyone complains about it, but women in particular always say that the dating pool in Nassau is very small, very shallow. Just how bad, from your perspective?
How bad is the dating pool?
Yeah, from your perspective.
Well, I don't date no more. I mean, I didn't like dating when I was trying to date. It's so tedious trying to find people. Like, you know, I've had guys who were on the verge of getting engaged, and, you know, them having mutual friends with me, and the friend knowing that I'm interested in no fly-by-night stuff still try to set me up with this dude that who's committed and engaged to somebody else because the fiance and I were not in the same circle of friends. It was so disheartening. It honestly, it's just very tedious. It's tedious. Like, where do you even find people to date? Like, where do you go? How do you say? For me, I don't like striking up conversations with people. Like, I would literally be by myself. You would think that I'm stuck up, but I'm not. It's just that I'm not the one to start a conversation with somebody else. You know how I met you.
I was just about to say, now you could go ahead and you could tell that story if you want to.
I would like to hear it. I would love to hear it.
No strike up, no conversation, no nothing.
Yeah, so we were in Colors. Well, I was in Colors by the Sea with the cast and the crew for Fabulous Living. We were shooting an episode there, and we were waiting on the boat to come up to the dock, right? And I'm there with this blue bear. What's the blue bear called now? Of course.
Bud Light.
No, but and they're the Bud Light and taking photos of the Bud Light. So next to me, man, that needs to be a collect, man. You know, because it's like Bud Light and Kung Fritters.
Drinking this garbage.
But marketing, but marketing, right? And so that's what he said to me. And then we started to talk. Like, I went over to the bar while we were waiting. Everybody sat there. But he was funny. Like, he was funny. So he started the conversation. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel like, this is a stalkery fan, trying to talk to me. I didn't feel like it didn't feel weird.
Stalkery fan, relatable.
Jayme, I have had dudes show up to my place of employment looking for me where they so stalkery, like sending me lunch and stuff, niggas I don't know.
Oh, I got lunch from a fan on my birthday. I definitely
but it's weird because they expect. So it wasn't. So he strikes up the conversation. It's not weird, and then I leave him then and just jump on the boat. And then that's that. When I have a conversation, I was doing an interview on radio. I was doing an interview on radio, and I was like, they asked me a question if I had met anybody interesting, and I said, yeah, I was in Abaco. And this is what happened. And like, he's like chocolate, blah, blah, blah. It's cool people. But now we're really good friends. Like, it never went anywhere. Just for clarification for everybody. It never went anywhere outside.
Anywhere. To anyone, it never went anywhere.
Precisely.
Anywhere.
The type of party. I was just utterly disgusted that this woman would be sitting there drinking a Bud Light and eating Kung Fritters. Who the fuck does that?
It was so funny because he was witty. I like witty men. As a matter of fact, Mr. Policeman was a witty man. Like he was so flippin' lit. Like, he was lit. Like, it was so funny. Sorry?
I said man in uniform.
I like them like that. I like when my belly break that. Anyway, I'm just joking. And my current boyfriend, he's a rapper. He's super lit. Like, his wordplay is just, everything. Like, I like him witty, So if you can strike up a conversation, and he don't even say much. I met him on the studio floor. I was sleeping on the studio floor, and he walks in, and I remember looking up and thinking, this dude is tall. And then he starts rapping, and I was like, my baby daddy.
Wood, big wood.
You jumped in. Ooh, oh my. That boy ain't even know any of trap.
No, apparently he saw my butt and he's like,
Nobody can miss that juicy bone either.
Well, that's what he told me. Like, he's like, I think we were plotting on each other because I was sleeping on the floor, and the joke that he has now is that I meet you sleeping, and it's true. So studio floor, I was sleeping. Then we went to the movies, and he came over, and I fell asleep on the couch right in his arms, and it's like I imprinted on him. So now he can't be with nobody else.
I love it. Oh, I a good love story. I promise you.
I'm here for it. I've been looking for an excuse to rock a 3-piece suit, so let me know when it is that time.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to think that we could. I ain't gonna lie, right? I ain't gonna lie. I honestly think y'all better come inside, like y'all rapper clothes for this wedding if it happen, cause it ain't gonna be no suit. I don't get the impression.
Jordan 4s on a big gold chain.
Whatever you want, baby. Whatever you want me to wear, baby. It's your day.
I tell you, I don't get. As a matter of fact, I really feel like if we do get married, it could be like, y'all, we doing something this afternoon. Come true.
Real. That's real shit. Like, definitely.
I respect that. So anytime I get a,
I feel like
I just bring in.
that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, shoot, people get away with it. You know, now let me not make light of the situation, but COVID would have been the perfect time.
No, to be honest. My friends always say, like, I'm the most likely to be like, hey, I got married when I was away last weekend. Just letting y'all know. Y'all come to the house for some drinks. I'm that friend. Like, I would definitely just elope. So COVID is perfect.
That person, you just come to the brunch with a goddamn wedding ring on and then sit down and be like, oh, Jayme, what it is in your face? Oh, shit, I didn't tell you.
And my horrible friends would be like, hey, so which one did you marry?
That used to be me.
Hey, so which one did you choose? Find out.
Someone spoiled man. Yeah, my gosh.
No, what kind of grocery stores closed?
I don't have a clue. I don't even know what laws or orders to even follow right now. I mean, I'm an attorney.
Straight facts. But I think
I'm pretty sure
like today was a mess. Today is a mess. I think Bodine part is going to be late because I ran out of flour.
Go, girl.
Let me tell you. Okay, I thought I had enough flour, but I forgot that somebody had been here and, like, you know, like when people come and they get like a cup of flour here or something like that. And so I am like short like a cup of flour. So I really gotta figure this out because everything else is done due. And I really think the food store closes at 3:00.
Let me look.
Really?
I think so. Like, I think Super Value closes at 3:00.
Yeah, I know one place that'll still be open if you need to get flour in the out east. This ain't a shameless plug of any description.
Go ahead.
My Godfather grocery store on Fox Hill Road, they don't ever close.
Hey,
which one is that? I love it.
Prime time. They always open.
7?
Oh, it closes 7?
They could go until 9. You sure? This Timmy.
On a Sunday?
Yeah, Timmy.
Okay.
Hey,
right.
Timmy.
Super Value closes at 8:00, Timmy said. Thanks, Timmy.
Okay. Good looking out, Timmy. Good looking out. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. Gosh, I'm such a mess today.
You'll be fine. I really want to taste that new variation crown. Oh,
I will
let me
one, but I bought it with the traditional thing. Let me actually tell you what my vibe is of crab fat and dough, right? There is something about the smell of crab fat that fucks me up. If there were a way that I could eat it without being able to smell it, I probably would enjoy it, but then I also wouldn't taste it. But I don't know. I can't get past that. The idea of dipping dough in that nasty ass brown, weird, fucking low tide smelling shit just
low tide
well with me. Like nope, they're cool. I just don't like it.
You know what it is as well? If you don't cook it properly, if you don't season it properly, it is gonna have that smell. So yeah, if your crab if I need to grow up.
Fucking giggling as soon as she said crab.
I can't even get it. Okay, I'm serious now. I'm serious. If you're serious about your crab game, you definitely know that it has to have onions, it has to have thyme, bay leaf, you know, those aromatics, they important. And you can't be eating crab and dough from everybody. I tired of telling people this. When you smell a rank crab, it's because they've not fed that crab properly. And honestly, if you have a very fat crab, the fat is not going to smell.
Jayme, stop that, man.
It's not going to smell rancid. Okay? It's still going to smell like crab fat, but it's not going to smell like rancid crab fat. And there is a big difference. And again, the reason why I decided to go with this particular method is because you could be cute while you're eating it. You can have the sauce, you can dip your dough in on the side. It's fully cooked, it's not problematic, and you don't get that grossed out feeling. It's just like eating a brown gravy with dumplings, you know, and the dumpling is filled with like the delicious filling. So Jayme, once I perfect this, I can tag you, let you know what's going on, you know, but I can make it for TV and it could look like it tastes good.
Whenever you're ready, baby. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. So
after she tries it, then I'll jump in. And...
You can eat whatever I feed you.
Mm-hmm. Let him know. Yeah.
Wow. I was like, I don't know who he's talking to, Jayme. Jayme, who he's talking to? No. Who you talking to, babe? Who you talking to?
Please. I will tell you. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
See, Jayme, what I say about the clapping?
I love it. I love it. Where are my flowers? Oh.
Oh, good.
Okay, let me.
No more clapping. Don't be clapping behind that man. You know, I feel.
No,
bad.
no. Don't mind me. You know, that man is a man. There, I can't tell him what to do. I didn't know, like, you know, to get my waters running with him. I can't tell him what to do. I cannot tell him what to do. I can't make him do anything. If he chooses to do something, if he chooses to do something, he will do it. I can't pressure him into doing something, which means that it's difficult to manipulate him. Nobody really wants to be with a partner that they can manipulate because it's not genuine.
Right.
We communicate extremely well. He listens, and he is very open to when I say that something bothers me, he's open to listen, and then he says, okay, and then he fixes it as much as possible. But if it's something he ain't about it, and I gotta accept that. And I can deal with that because it's not false. It is what it is. Yeah. You know, it ain't dolly house, it ain't pretend. It like literally, he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And that's the end of that. I like men.
Good for you.
Man gotta be a man.
I agree.
And we love a manly man.
All right, now we gotta go get the coconut oil and go riding horse on the beach like in one of them Old Spice commercials.
A manly man.
Yeah. Nothing else is popping into my mind that I want to stress y'all two about, so I'm gonna let you go here. I am supposed to do a giveaway that only people that will watch this will know, and I wanted to give you guys the liberty to choose. So should I do a case of wine or should I do a dinner giveaway for 2, maybe for 4? What do you think? What's a nice thing to give the people?
First of all, is it going to be 2 or 4?
I think let's make it 2.
How many wine will come in that case?
6.
Okay, so I gotta either share my wine or be going out because like
this is my first bottle, and I'm lit. I'm so mad that y'all ain't drinking with me. This is gonna
don't worry, I'm gonna. Ooh.
Yeah. So funny enough, you both have 2 wines from 2 different companies. The one that Bodine is holding up now is from Regal Wines. I recently started, kind of working with them. That's a decent, very dry cab. you know.
My sweetie got me like 2 of those.
I love it.
I like
The
that
dry
one.
Cabernet. I love it. You know, I see now. This how much you know me good. You know I like dry wine.
Thank you. You know, you're my dog, man. And then the
Yeah.
second one is from Springbok. The one that Jayme is drinking is from Springbok Company. I mean, I'm biased. I love me a South African wine, and I love a good Sauvignon Blanc. So,
Nick, thank you so much. Listen, weekend lit. I'm gonna be drinking, but honestly, I haven't had a chance to, it needs to cool just a little bit. Just a
I'm
little
not
bit.
doing chill out wine this whole time because I've been drinking together, girl. I almost finished this bottle.
I'm jealous. I ain't gonna lie. Jayme, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because I was thinking 6 o'clock. I was thinking 6 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I could unwind. You know, we got food on deck. We could talk about this stuff. Yeah, and it's like 12 o'clock. I was like 12 o'clock, 12:30. I was you lucky I picked up my phone because I was going to the food store. I picked up my phone and I saw it on this call and I was like, oh crap. But anyway.
Look. So what's the consensus? What do you think I should do? Case of wine or should it be dinner?
I say dinner.
I would say wine because 6 bottles of wine, that's at least 2 to 3 nights of like complete lit wine stuff.
I don't know if you checked the Food and Culture Company Instagram recently, but Regal Wines is doing a giveaway for 7 cases of wine.
One person and 7 cases of wine? That's enough wine to get married with.
Bodine, you either you got to make like a $50 purchase as a minimum or buy a raffle ticket. But I mean, 7 cases, I've been through their whole product spectrum now. There is a flavor for every palate in that catalog. I will say that.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over. I say the wine then. Let's give away the wine.
Let's give away the wine.
Get people excited.
I will give people a case of wine. Let me figure out how I'm gonna work. But I'm happy that you all chose that. So thank you for sitting down and having this long conversation with me. Thank you for talking all of your little somewhat dirty secrets. I now got to go sit and wonder which gals be around and saying these tags and singing these tags with me. I gotta listen to all kind of albums now. And hopefully we'll do this again soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. Cheers.
Okay, I can go buy flour.
Take it easy.
Bye.